YetBol TV, YetBol TV, YetBol TV, your affordable production company, a lover with passion when it's come to creating memorable moments of event and live streaming events. We promote who is who out there related to your business, religious, education, health and well-being of the community as a whole. We look forward to serving you. Pick up the phone and give us a call today for your booking. No event is too small to cover and we will beat any other competitor's pricing. Satisfaction and timely delivery is guaranteed always. You will never regret doing business with us. Pick up the phone now. Contact us today for your next event. +1 24059518002. Or send us an email to yetbolphotovideo@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter and YouTube at YetBol TV. Our Facebook group at Who is Who in the community we serve.
Good afternoon. How are you doing today? This is Yetunde Ifelowo-Thomas, YetBol TV lead rep. I'm here today with Shine Bright, and she's going to be introduced herself to you.
Yes, my name is Shine Bright, and I'll be co-hosting this show today. We're talking about abuse, which is a very sensitive topic, and you all are welcome, viewers. Welcome to this show.
All right, as I've said before, many are being affected without really knowing it. Do you even know what an abuse is? Do you know what the signs, what are the symptoms? A lot of happen out there in the community and everybody's talking. Everybody's now raising awareness to what an abuse is. And so many of the time, many people, including me, some are one way down the line have been abused. And most of the time we get to tolerate it because of what the society is going to say, because of what is going to happen, because of the aftermath. Who cares? Let's really talk about verbal abuse. What is verbal abuse? I did talk about that, I think, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that on your the previous show. I wasn't here. Yeah, you were talking about verbal abuse. Some parents verbally abuse their children, calling their name, cussing them out. And you know, you were talking about. I noticed that you're talking about how our fathers back
I know. Can you believe?
Oh my lineage.
I know. Can you believe? Have you ever been called a bastard?
But the truth is, even within our Black Americans or Black African communities, we actually do curse our children out. Not just our fathers. Even till date, people still curse their children out.
I do. It
still happens.
I do. I mean, my kids are raised here basically, but you know. I'll call them Momali sometimes. I guess they don't know the meaning until I tell them. But for parents out there who do say that to their children, especially the Lagosians, curses, they said is a way of talking, that is not a curse. Are you a bastard? Are you mad? And the child will say, no, ma. So anyway, to me, I mean, in a way, it is demeaning to children. Yeah. Sometimes it kills the morale of a child. Talk less of when that child now grew up
and
their self-esteem is
and
low.
you know that keeps going in circle. It keeps going around from one generation to another.
It does.
And then when they give birth to children, their children will cause their own children, and it keeps going on and on in cycles.
And then
like
we
that.
now talk about generational course.
And that's why we are here to talk about, to create awareness around this abuse. You know, we have physical abuse, emotional abuse, we have mental abuse, we have sexual abuse. Abuse has become part of our society today.
I know that
it's now a norm. It has become a norm
that we now live with, like
we live with like it's a normal thing, and
do.
you know, nobody's talking about it. And so that's why we are here to gist about it. So let's gist. This is our gist. This is not,
let's talk about
we are not
it.
talking about this, we are not pointing fingers, but we are addressing our community. We are having this conversation between you and I, viewers, myself. You know, we are talking about this. So feel free to comment in the comment section. Let us know what you think about this show. Let us know what you think about this topic. Have you been abused before? Do you have friends whose kids are abused in any form or shape? Because abuse comes in different forms of shape. And people don't know. People think when you say abuse, it's when you sexually abuse someone or violence, domestic violence. But abuse can be in different forms. I've seen uncles that sexually abuse their niece. You know, I've seen husband abuse their sexually abuse their wife.
I know, and let's talk about that. So for you husbands, yes, you did pay dowry and all that, but at the same time, sex is supposed to be mutual. Both parties are supposed to enjoy it. You know, and sometimes some ego a little bit more than the others. You know, don't force yourself on no woman, and vice versa. Women, don't force a man to have sex with.
Because some men do.
I know.
Get it too.
I know.
They get abused too. Sexually abused too.
I know. So
boys get abused. Women get abused. Men get abused.
I know.
You know, when a friend of mine was talking to me one day and he was telling me it was actually his virgin by his nanny.
Wow.
Yeah, his nanny actually sexually abused his virgin him, sexually abused him. And abuse is actually when you an activity, sexual activity that is conducted without consent. So it is when you don't give your consent, that's when it becomes abuse. And it can be that as far as you touching someone. If people get in trouble at work, like there was a day, one day I was working and someone was fired, a boy was fired at my job because he touched the girl's hair. Without her consent, and she got angry and decided fighting, and the boy was fired. The girl still works there. So before you touch someone, please ask, can I touch? So it can be as far as you touching someone, or you know, kissing without somebody's consent. You don't kiss without somebody's consent. You don't touch without their consent. It has to be a mutual agreement. They have to be, the man has to be in the mood, the woman has to be in the mood, and then men feel that it's their right, it's their birthright. So that, you know, it's their birthright that you have to give them sex. Yes, we know it's your right, but how about you ask? There are ways, even if the woman doesn't feel like giving you, there are ways you can pet your woman.
I know.
How about you come back from home and say, my dear, shawarma,
I take this one. I take this one.
Or even as far as doing say, my dear, you know, change.
I know, like that.
You know, when you only, Yoruba say, permit me to say this in Yoruba, no moria. When you make your wife happy, then her head will swell up. She'll be in the mood to have sex with you. Or you just came into the house and just said, wow, I took my eyes to the market, look at this bomb, or eat it, it's good. And you don't just come like, oh, who did this? You're acting like Mr. Somebody. Anyway, Mrs. Somebody, you ain't getting it. Have you ever even think about it, like when you first dating, you just do it willingly, anytime, anyhow, and it just come naturally. Then now you're not comfortable. Those things you do then to be able to get it. Why did you stop? You try to please the woman. You try to please your girlfriend to give you sex. Know. But once you're married, and that's the thing. Even women too. When we get married, we feel like, oh, motife, because if you don't love, he's my husband. He has nowhere to go. I have the certificate. Oh my darling. Some women, they don't even dress up. I know. They don't dress up. I know. And be like, oh, the man is looking outside on water. Why wouldn't your husband look outside when you still dress like a mama or I'm a wife now? I need to dress, you know. So those are the things that chase men out there, and then some men be like, oh, she's not giving me constant sex, I'll go outside.
I know, but guess what? The person that you're going outside to go get constant sex from, it's gonna be another wifey somehow, maybe second wife from side chick, and Bashatafi Noyale is coming back for the second person. Meaning that how you have treated your first wife, somebody else is gonna be doing it back to you. So let's go back. Like, why will a man even force himself on a woman, or vice versa, a woman? Yes, our vow says that, you know, for better, for worse, my body is gonna be yours solely, but it has to be in good mood. So let's go back to what we said earlier about the verbal abuse. You know, when a wife or a husband is already verbally abused, I mean, my ex used to tell me that if he's not happy, his thing will not go up. I don't know if it's true, but you know, we can verify.
Yeah, same thing with women, because you have to be aroused sexually to want to have sex with someone. So if you are, and I think emotional abuse and sexual abuse in marriage, they go hand in hand. Because if you're emotional abuse, you will lose your sexual drive for that your husband. If your husband, if your wife is not making you happy, men to get abused. Men get abused because I've heard of stories where a woman would typically curse out the husband. He would curse out the husband, he would disrespect the husband, he will not cook food in the house. You know, men to go through abuse. And then they will now stop. The love they will have for that woman will die down. And then they will not be in the mood to have sex with that woman, and they start going out. So same thing as women too. If their men are treating them wrong, abusing them emotionally, that sexual drive will be killed. It takes two to tango. If you're in love with your husband, emotionally you want to have sex with that man. But if that man is acting in some type of way that is killing your emotions, it will kill you on the inside, that all your drives will be dead. You'll be dead sexually. So and that's why sometimes when a man forces a woman to have sex, it's like rape. Because that woman cannot forceful entry. Like she needs to be aroused. You need to play with her. She needs to be aroused. It's not just you. Let's have sex.
So good, nice, sensitive thing like that.
You know,
so we transfer to sense in the bank. Like, did you see that deposit that I sent that transfer to you? Did you like that perfume that I bought you? Oh, what about the car that I left outside your work with the Red Bull on it?
And you know, somebody can go as far as you just buying a flower. You're just buying a flower to impress the woman. You know,
I don't like flowers.
You guys just date again. You guys can spice your marriage. Spice your marriage. Take her out on a date. You can start dating again. Who says married people cannot date? You can still date in marriage. And I think we'll keep talking about all these things, and I want you viewers to feel free to tell us what you would like us to talk about. You know, suggestions are welcome. And feedbacks are welcome. We welcome feedback and suggestions on what you would like us to address. You know, we're still talking about emotional abuse. Because
the emotional abuse goes a long way, because it leads to depression. Someone that's easygoing, you know, and you know, you have a man who's outgoing, will do anything, or maybe a wife outgoing will do anything, and then emotionally, the drive is being killed by words of mouth, verbally abusing, like any, is it only you, blah blah blah. When you're supposed to boost and help that person to become better at what they do, then emotionally they will be getting depressed. You might not see the signs, because most times, you know, I think African community doesn't really know what it is like to be depressed. Not until it's really, really like above borderline, and most times it's not manageable. Because you don't want to talk about it to someone whereby they will laugh at you, and it becomes a little bit too late to correct.
You know, personally, you know, I've been married before, and I can say that there was a time in my marriage when with my ex and I would argue almost every day, that at some point I lost it sexually. I wasn't interested in it. I would say to him again, because it was often emotional abuse. We were always cussing at each other. He would cuss at me. Sometimes he would like try to throw something at me. So it would he will yell at me, and me, I'm very emotional, so he will yell at me, he will say stuff at me, shout at me, say all kinds of things to me, and it was killing me emotionally, to the fact that I would be thinking, and sometimes I would be crying. So the way we treat our women is very important, that it kills the love we have for our men. If a man doesn't treat a woman right, that love will die down. That love the woman has for you, you kill it with your words, with your mouth. So the word of mouth is very powerful. Just as when you see a woman, you're trying to weigh a woman, this is see how far, oh my fine girl, you're trying to weigh a woman, you're saying something nice and sweet, and then you got the woman, eventually you got married, and then you talking down, like you say words that are demeaning to that woman, and then that woman cannot love you. At some point the love will die. So that's emotional. When it becomes emotional, when the woman is emotionally down, when the woman has to be thinking that she won't wash your coffee by, even men too go through that. They marry wrong women, say the woman is always going to party, she doesn't have time for the husband in the house, she doesn't take care of the children, she's not responsible. So it goes both ways. Women can be responsible, men can be responsible too. Paying rent, it's more, it goes way beyond that. It goes about you petting your wife, trying to please your wife, and then pleasing your husband, trying to please your husband. So really, I want viewers to really pay attention to this. Our own, we don't say, oh, the fact that you married a woman doesn't mean that women, our mothers, they are stuck in the marriage.
I think not
truly, because some of them don't even have a job, they don't have money, they don't have a place to go.
They live on the income of
when it's go to their parents' house, their parents will chase them back. So our mothers are forced to stay in that marriage, and they are being abused on a daily basis.
I know.
Our daddies, our forefathers, they abuse our mothers, they talk down at them. So this, it goes in both ways. We need to satisfy and please one another. Try to words are very powerful.
Yeah. Rotobi.
Yeah,
because you can even say sorry, and at the end of the day, the words are still there. I mean, from experience, I'm looking at the words, and I'm looking like, there's sometimes that I play good things in my, like, you know how you have archive, and you have good memories of things. So sometimes I replay good times in my memory, like, wow, this really happened. Then I play it process by process. I don't know if that has ever happened to you. And when the bad really outweighs the good, then you're thinking like, is this real? Like, should I really do this? And then you look at the mouth like, am I really gonna kiss this mouth? I ain't kissing it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'll just throw that in there just to bring attention to the audience. But anyway, we did talk about verbal abuse, and we have already elaborated on that for parents who talks down to their kids. It doesn't make them do better than people that you just tell them the facts. Like my kids, I give them a blank check, and I'll let them know, if you write stupidly on it, you're gonna be the one laying on that bed yourself. Am I lying? Yes, I'm one of those people. My mom is a Lagosian, my dad is from Ijebu. He hardly beat us, and he hardly see any cuss word other than Omali. And the Omali is once or twice in a year, and that's all I can say my dad would say. My mom, I get whooped every day. I think I kind of took a little bit out of it, because Lagosians, they will tell you one I mean, like on Shaka way. I think you're real fair daddy, all that stuff. But as economy, as we're having more advancement in technology, as we're having a lot of things going better for us in life, and more modernization, I think we need to stay away from things like that. We need to encourage our kids. We need to let them know why this is not being done, so it doesn't keep moving from one generation to the other. So the same thing, because when you talk down or when you compare children, let's say spouses, then it leads further down to emotions.
Right.
And the emotions decreases because you as their parents, you as their husband, you as their wife do not believe in them. You know, I'll tell you a typical thing. We went out to Dallas and people wanted to do this clapping with their thing, and I know my husband can do that. And I went to like, go ahead and do it. He wasn't gonna do it. I said, you know what, I'm gonna give you something. He said, no, I don't want the thing. I think he quickly like grabbed the opportunity, like, I want the something. But anyway, I'm just saying, sometimes you have to boost the morale of people to be able to do things.
Yeah.
So that way, you don't kill them emotionally. A lot of people knows how to front, and you see the Facebook follow later, but they're actually depressed. And depression can lead to one committing suicide and a lot of other mental, disorder. I'm saying we're going to talk a little bit about that later, not today. And also we did talk about sexual abuse, whereby you want to exercise your rights, that you pay the dowry, you pay the father everything that the father wanted.
Right.
So you have every right.
Have it.
If the woman or the man is tired, try to look at that aspect to be considerate. Oh, you can do this. If you're somebody that doesn't cook for your man, go ahead and cook his favorites. Put bath water in the bathroom. Even if he's tired, you know what I mean. We know that you feel you up to something, and vice versa for a woman too. She loves to eat. Do something that she really likes. Get ready, and even if she's not in the mood, she'll just play along like, what, I'ma act like everything is fine, rather than force yourself on that person.
I even think that sometimes it's okay to say no.
Yeah,
it's okay to say no. You don't feel like it, say no. But when it's not okay, is when you keep saying no. Today you say no to your husband, tomorrow you say no to your husband. That's, when it's becoming regular, then it's not okay. Then there's a problem. Then the husband needs to find out what is going on with my wife. Is she seeing somebody else?
No,
is she going through stress? Am I doing something wrong? Because there's so many reasons people behave. Something like that. There has to be a reason. Yeah, there has to be a reason.
But there must be a reason why something
occurs. It could be, maybe it's your fault.Maybe there's something you are doing wrong that you need to start doing right. To get what you want. So you need to have a dialogue with that woman.
I know. Like,
is there something
where are
me?
we gone wrong? Yeah.
And I think it's okay for, and I want to also throw this out there, it's okay for couples to seek counseling, to go to see, see professionals, seek help. It's okay to seek help. The fact that you seek help doesn't mean that you are weak.
Yeah.
It just shows
and communication.
Seeking help.
Yeah.
It just shows that you know that it's a problem. And only you go to doctor because you are sick, Abby. When you see that your marriage is crumbling or something is going wrong, it's okay to seek help. That is why we have professional counselors, therapists. There's always a solution to every problem.
And just like she just said, just a little bit to spice it up. I don't know if you guys have seen that everybody is each other's counselor. The person that you are inviting to be your counselor, if they're not legally certified counselor, everybody can counsel somebody else.
I'm talking about professional.
You don't even know their own. I'm telling you.
Professional
it's
counselor.
It's like somebody saying, I will never take it. You've not even been to that person's house. You don't even know what that person is, going through. And they will tell you like blah blah. A professional counselor. That's what she's saying.
That's what I'm referring to. Please.
And that's after you have communicated.
I'm not talking about your pastor, your alpha, your parents. It's okay to seek elderly advice sometimes, but I also think that it's better when we go to professionals who know the ins and outs. They know the ins and outs of marriage. The marriage counselors, they will be able to talk to you and your wife and address the issues going on in your marriage. Because you cannot use the spice. Okay, I was talking to a friend of mine. I was asking him that, can you marry your opposite, or do you marry somebody like you? it was not like nǹkan tó bá work fún Táyé lè má work fún Kẹ́hìndé o. Like you're saying that advice from elderly or from advice from ọ̀rẹ́, nǹkan tó work fún ọ̀rẹ́ mi lè má work fún mi. If my friend bí abọ́ ń ṣe ń tó lè tẹ̀lé léyìí bí a gbajúgbamu ló fi ń báyàwó ẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ tó dẹ̀ work fún ọ lè má work sọ́dọ̀ tèmi, you understand? Ó lè bí ẹlòmíì tẹ̀kẹ̀rẹ́ ó lè ń dọ̀bálẹ̀ fún ìyàwó ẹ̀ lẹ́nu a lọ sọ fún ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ̀ ta pé obìnrin ò ṣe gbójú bọ̀rọ̀ fún má gbà ó. Yeah, you understand? Wọ́n máa lọ dálé onílé rú bọ́ títí wọn nílé wọn wọ́n ṣe ń fọwọ́ pa àtìyàwó wọn lé lórí ilé and then they will go and destroy other people's home by giving them wrong advice. So that's why it is advisable to go to professionals to seek advice. They will give you genuine advice. They don't know you guys. They are not interested in they are not trying to destroy your home. But ara lé ẹni tó náà tó mọ ní ló ń ṣe ni ara lé ńgbà míì wọ́n lè mọ̀ọ́mọ̀ fún yàn ní bad advice. Maybe they are even jealous of you.
I know.
They are even jealous that couple goals they did couple and when they say couple goals you know that I want ṣe business okay let's give them this advice kí ni wọ́n kúkú dàrú ká dá gbogbo kí o kò dàrú kí ló kàn wá. You know, so we need to really be careful where we seek advice. It's important to seek advice at the right place.
And who you compare yourself to.
Yeah, comparison.
So
we have different and you're more dogba. Why would you compare? You don't compare your children with anybody. You don't compare your husband with anybody. You don't compare your wife. And you're more dog. And we are your more kinship the same. We have different destiny.
Yeah, we have a different. Some people will be quicker and some people will be slower. And it depends. So in a way we're trying to add interventions to what we're talking about, as in what can prevent the emotions and what can prevent the sexual abuse and what can prevent the verbal abuse. And you guys have to talk about it. You have to talk about it. You have to create time to talk. I mean, sometimes you disagree to agree. Okay, no, I'm not doing that. Why are you not doing it? Because of ABC. Trust me, marriage is two imperfect people coming together to make something perfect.
Yeah.
They have two different backgrounds.
Yes.
I will tell you, this is my second marriage. And when I have a toothpaste, I hate when you squeeze it in the middle. I'm telling you, if I live with you, you're going to abide with her or you use your own toothpaste. Bingo. The toilet still got to go down and we have to cover it. As a matter of fact, lately, I kind of one day opened my house was like, yesterday, kilo shele. Babe, because I'm always closing it. I'm just saying. So it's two imperfect people coming together. So you might come from a rich background, and your wife or maybe your husband didn't. You just have to, you know what you saw in awe before you marry that person.
Yeah.
So the same thing you have done to woo that person at that time is what you either continue with or you call it a day. And that's why we're having a lot of divorce nowadays.
Yes.
And that's why we're having a lot of suicide of partners because they are more worried about what the world will say. You know what, world? Go sit down. We have now Facebook family. We have Facebook in-laws.
Oh, did you hear about the lady? This lady that sings that died recently. The husband Osinachi.
Yeah.
That the husband beats her to death or something like that. She was struggling with that for years.
Well, I'm not sure if the story is true because there's too many versions.
Oh.
So I'm not sure if it's really an abuse or she had cancer.
Oh.
I'm really not very sure, and I really, I'm hearing like different versions.
Oh, really?
It's more up like there is a abuse.
Oh,
but like I said, I really didn't dig into it. But I saw that popularity vote goes to the abuse side.
Yeah, because
but she could have opened her mouth and she would still be alive, But who knows? Sometimes our religion prevents us from wanting to talk about things. And then the pastor doesn't want us to say nothing about it. And most time people advise us like, stay in there for the sake of your children. And sometimes it's really tough, which we go to later, having a blended family. That is tough too. So everything in life has its consequences. But we will stay on this topic that we're on abuse. We've seen so many abuse, see relationship. If you watch True Crime Daniel, it talks a lot about that too on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
Like rich people killing each other because they don't trust, lack of trust. So verbal abuse, we've already talked about on that. Watch the way you talk to your children. watch the way you talk to your spouses, and watch the way you talk, even at work. Watch the way you talk.
So yes,
in the community, in
it
the
kills
everywhere.
relationship. It kills relationship.
It kills it quickly.
Friendship, colleague relationship. Relationship is in different. It can be in different form. It doesn't have to be marriage. It doesn't have to be boyfriend and girlfriend. Relationship can be in different form. It can be mother and child relationship. So the word of the mouth is very powerful. We need to be soft spoken. We need to be kind.
I know.
Be kind with our words. Be gentle. Treat others how you want to be treated. You understand? So. And that's that for. Are we done with verbal abuse?
Yeah. So for today, we've already talked about verbal. We touch on verbal because we talked about it before. So emotional abuse, we already talked about it. What verbal can do when
verbal leads to emotional.
When you talk a lot, it kills the affection.
Yes.
And when the affection is no more there, then it kills the sexual part.
And then you start abuse sexually.
Then it leads to being sexually abused. Yes. And what is the essence of having an intercourse with someone and the person is not responding back? I mean, I don't know. I mean, you have to answer that. So please let us look at these three things. We're going to be coming back again to talk about physical and to talk about mental and psychological part of abuse, because the mental illness or the mental part of it leads to psychological part. It's always an impact of what has happened on the children, on the wife, on the husband. And trust me, you're already being tagged. It means you already have a kind of label. Even if you're the good person in that relationship, you already have like a little bit comma, like that is how you do to Lagbaja now. We know you. So we're gonna see you again. I want to say it's a time well spent. We really enjoy talking about it. Like we have said earlier, many are being affected without knowing it. We're not saying we're perfect. As a matter of fact, we're talking from experience too. So in a way, we're trying to help someone out there who is watching us, who knows that this shouldn't be. Trust me, you have to talk about it. You have to open up to talk about it. When you talk about it, you don't hold it. It doesn't build up.
There's no shame. There's no shame in talking about it.
There's no shame. And happiness is within. It doesn't matter how much you've been abused and how much money they give you afterwards. If you're still not happy, if you're not able to tackle and deal with it internally, it's gonna kill you. Trust me. It'll be like a cancer virus.
And I think that parents need to check on their children. Ask them questions, checkmate them, what they go through on a daily basis. Some children are being abused by relatives, by guardians, by workers, domestic workers, by friends. So people go through abuse on a daily basis. Abuse happen every day.
And everywhere.
In home, at school, even in church. People are abused in church, and students are abused at school. You will see kids bullying the other kids. I've heard of some kids where there was a day where a kid was telling me, a 7-year-old was telling me that one girl in her school is asking her out. Girl asking her out and bullying her that she has to go out with. I saw 6 years old. So things are happening. Our children are going AWOL. They're going wild. Things are happening. The world is going crazy.
I know.
So parents need to pay attention on their kids. Find out if they're going through. We are not saying you should put anything in their head or suggest anything in their brain, but checkmate your children. Do not be negligent on your care about your children, your parenting style. And we're going to talk about parenting style one of these days. We'll talk about parenting style, the kind of what style are you using to parent your children? Are you an authoritarian? Are you neglectful? Are you authoritative? All this kind of style we use in parenting in training up our children is very important. Spanking a child, I'm going back to African parents. Spanking a child, beating a child to almost trying to beat a child. Spanking a child to almost death is not the way to train a child. Because what will be. You understand? If you beat that child from now to tomorrow, and you are not providing for the child. You are not providing. Ask a child, what is going on? Sometimes Abraham Maslow. I want to take us back to Abraham Maslow hierarchy of needs. Hierarchy of needs talk about human needs are insatiable, and human needs people when people are not satisfied, then they will not feel fulfilled. Like hierarchy of needs are basic needs, shelter, food, emotional needs, feeling of belongingness. They want to belong.
I know.
So, people don't have food and you want them to behave well, and you're totally jail. So sometimes we need to ask questions and find out why then if you should buy. I think that's my very clear then you should buy. Killing you go through, and Elomi to go through emotions and go through abuse growing up, all kinds of abuse that it has affected their mental wellness, it has affected their mental health. So you disorder, Elomi to ADHD, all kinds of disorder that result from abuse in the past.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. And what she just mentioned on is really true. A lot of people, because we grow by the environment that we've lived. So a child who has witnessed abuse, or a child who has been abused while growing up, who has been traumatized, has a 90%, if not more, of traumatizing any woman or traumatizing any husband, because that is what they live by. Thinking is the right way to live, and we are doing the same thing to our children if we don't correct that. You understand? That's what I always tell people, that somebody can be mean to you, but you don't have to be mean back, because you can change that person if you want to, or you can just leave it alone. So we grow by the environment we live by. If you have been abused, or psychologically you've been affected by an abused relationship of your parents, or maybe even the neighbors, because sometimes things can happen around you in your environment that you have lived. Please seek help.
Seek help.
So we're gonna end this today because we have a lot of things to do, and we'll be doing this again. We really think that you do enjoy us. We're really gonna come back today. I'm really happy to have Shine Bright here. We think alike. We've been talking about this for like 4 years. Is that we never get ourselves together. Always busy. She's Mrs. Busy. I'm Mrs. Busy. So, but we promise that we're gonna do this a lot. Let us know what you want us to talk about. We have a lot. We're still coming back, like I've said earlier, to talk about physical and mental illness and psychological impact of what all these 5 signs in an abuse does to a person.
So please click subscribe to the YouTube channel. Continue to watch out for. We keep bringing up new topics, different topics. So please subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and watch this show and look out for this show. We'll be bringing all the juices out there. And don't forget to comment below. Let us know what you think about this show. Let us know what you want to talk about. And don't touch that dial.
Yes, and also we want this to be as real as possible. We try not to gossip about people, and we don't want to talk about what is not factual. So we want to be real. We want us to be able to talk. Sometimes to talk about it, it's a good form of counseling too, because people of like minds talking and sharing experiences. There's nothing under the world that has not happened. Before it used to be sky is the limit. Now sky is the beginning of everything. So it means that after the sky there's still going to be another world. So till we see again, we want to say bye-bye. Thank you for watching us. We love you. God loves you more. Until we see again, thank you for watching. Bye.
YetBol Tv, YetBol Tv, YetBol TV, your affordable production company, a lover with passion when it's come to creating memorable moments of event and live streaming events. We promote who is who out there related to your business, religious, education, health and well-being of the community as a whole. We look forward to serving you. Pick up the phone and give us a call today for your booking. No event is too small to cover, and we will beat any other competitor's pricing. Satisfaction and timely delivery is guaranteed always. You will never regret doing business with us. Pick up the phone now. Contact us today for your next event. +1 24059518002. Or send us an email to yetbolphotovideo@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter and YouTube at YetBol TV. Our Facebook group at Who is Who in the community we serve.